Peace, people. Welcome to the latest episode of Rough Draft. I am your host, Alberto Sabio, and in this episode, I'll be continuing to celebrate Latino Heritage Month and talk about my program, the Consortium of Afro Latino Communities. Thank you for tuning into this latest episode of Rough Draft. We are now in the month of October. So, in the month of October, we have my birthday month. So, my birthday is on October 8th. I will be turning 51 years old. And I'm glad I'll be able to talk about it a little bit because of the fact that last year, because my laptop had gone down, I wasn't able to celebrate my 50th birthday. So this is a very special occasion for me. Also is the fact that you have banned book week. So that's from the week of starting October 5th, lasting to October 11th. So if you can go and support your local bookstore and support any books that they have on sale, they're considered to be banned books because of the government. Definitely go out and support your small black owned businesses and also your small independently owned bookstores. Also is the fact that from October 9th to October 12th, you'll be having the New York Comic Con. So if you converge in New York City for Comic Con that coming weekend, actually I guess that's the second weekend of October. Yeah. So definitely like all the screenings that they'll have, a lot of different vendors that are going to be there, the major comic book companies, and also some small independents who are also going to be there. So basically, come out and please support. For my own self personally, as far as housekeeping is concerned, Hobo will be having their Halloween spooky sale. So that lasts from the first of the month to the 31st of the month. I actually am lucky that Kobo selected one of my books. So Chronicles of the Black Fist will be on sale on Kobo for the entire month, selling at 99 cents, which is basically at half price. The subject matter at hand is the Consortium of Afro Latino Communities. That actually originally started out as an essay that was included in my second book called Razor Brown Black Fist 2 More Political Shots of an Angry Afro Latino. Uh, that particular essay was included in the Black Thoughts essay series that I had written. It was actually one of my unpublished papers. It was basically talking about ways that we could consolidate our resources. I wanted to apply that more so to the real world as well. So I actually started doing. I actually wanted to be able to apply those types of concepts in the real world, and so I started doing a program called the Consortium of Afro Latino Communities. And so that was basically a biannual event dedicated to highlighting, promoting, and exposing the African roots and heritage of Latino people through film screenings, panel discussions, and also book signings and readings by Afro Latino authors. So that actually lasted from about 2011 to when I moved back to New York, so to 2015. So the very first one that I tried to hold of the Consortium of Afro Latino Communities was actually supposed to be in 2011, and that was actually supposed to be held on the campus of Sojourner Douglas College when I was living in Baltimore at the time. Um, Unfortunately, that one ended up being canceled at the last minute. It was supposed to be a variety of film screenings, and I was also supposed to do a lecture on my first book because the second book hadn't been published at that time yet. That one unfortunately wasn't held. The very first one that actually was actually done was held on the campus of Morgan State University. So that one, of course, it had film screenings, a number of different films that I'd known. One filmmaker was actually able to show up and talk about her film short. We had a very successful panel discussion. A lot of people were able to come out and support it. It wasn't as successful as I wanted it to be. A lot of people made me promises that they were going to come out and support the event. Not a lot of people did, at least of the ones who told me in person. because I also put it online at the time and put it on Facebook. But there were people who did come through, and there were a lot of people who really did learn something from the events. That was something that for me, I was actually very happy about. The other versions of the consortium that I had held when I was still in Baltimore was held on a campus of Baltimore City Community College, or as they call it out there, BCCC. Um, those were okay. Um, I think the most successful one out of those held on their campus was the one that I held in fall of 2013, because that was a full panel discussion. It was a number of people who I considered peers and a few other activists who were younger than I was. So I was lucky enough that I was actually able to get the information that I needed ahead of time to be able to set up the event and be able to hold it and be able to invite all the people that I needed to come out and support it. And so we actually had a very good turnout as far as like people coming in to check out the panel discussion. So I was just very happy about that because there's a lot of things with the concept of the consortium that I wanted to do, which is basically it provides voices to some of the other upcoming activists. So it gives them a platform to be able to speak on what they're doing, you know what I'm saying, whether they're actually organizational activists, whether they're activists as far as documentarians, whether they're fellow authors who have written books, whether fiction or nonfiction, so it gives them a platform. You know what I'm saying, like I said, the film screenings, because there are a lot of people who've written, I mean, not written, who have produced either fictional films starring Afro Latinos, or they've done documentaries talking about us and our experiences that a lot of people just generally do not know. They don't see this stuff. Like, it don't get aired on PBS or nothing like that. So these people who were like contacts of mine and some of them actually personal friends, this was a platform that I was able to help to provide for them to be able to like help address our issues and tell our stories and give us voices that you say where we're usually held as the voiceless. So for me, the consortium was just like a very influential thing, because I've had a number of people who to this day, you know, saying many years later since I first held it, will still reach out to me, especially via social media or even through emails, and letting me know of the impact that those events had and how they were able to learn so much from what I've done. Because a lot of the concept for the Consortium of Afro Latino Communities was also being able to build a bridge between the Latino and the Black communities as well. It provides us as a platform to have our voices heard as far as combining our issues with the issues affecting the rest of the African diaspora and whatnot, and also just creating a closer bridge between us and the mother continent, which was something that I always wanted to do, especially you say as an activist, especially with the ideologies that I follow and I practice. I kind of got tired of being in Baltimore and dealing with some of the barriers that I was dealing with. So after the winter version of the consortium of Afro Latino communities, I left. Yes, sir, I left Baltimore. So I returned to New York, primarily trying to focus on my writing career at that particular time. And so I remember trying to finish out the rest of 2014 on a very strong note. I was trying to do the consortium as kind of a book tour. So it was actually a joint book tour between me and two other Afro Latino authors. Did not necessarily end as strong as I wanted to, because at this particular time, I'm actually trying to organize it through community centers. So I remember I was supposed to end 2014 and do a particular book tour. It was supposed to be at least four locations: one in Brooklyn, two in Manhattan, one in East Harlem, and one in Washington Heights. And then the final consortium event was supposed to be up in the Bronx. Unfortunately, the last three were not able to be held. We had to cancel those events due to circumstances out of my power, unfortunately. You know what I'm saying? By the way, Parks and Rec in New York City can suck ass. And so we didn't really do too much more with the consortium until the following year in 2015, which I did something in the winter in February. So I was able to do another joint book signing with the same two authors. They it was held at La Casa Azul bookstore, which used to be located in East Harlem. It is now since shut down, which that hurt because you see it was a Latino owned bookstore. And they had like a lot of really good stuff there. Aurora, the owner, I got a chance to meet her and connect with her. She was just somebody who I felt was a delight. I liked her. She had a lot of events in her bookstore. When I moved back to New York, I was lucky enough to be able to attend like a couple of readings and stuff like that at her. But then there was another version of the consortium that I was supposed to hold, I believe, later that June. I did not organize it. It was supposed to be one of the other authors who was supposed to organize it. I just held it under the consortium umbrella. You know what I'm saying? Just to like, you know, say, be able to hook up with any other fellow activists and other Afro Latinos who were doing stuff. And unfortunately, that was not successfully held. And so, pretty much the consortium from that point on has been on hold. That kind of prevented me from continuing to doing the consortium of Afro Latino communities. I don't think a lot of people really understood what it was I was trying to do organizationally. I did try to explain more of what I wanted to do with the consortium as far as writing a book three to the Raise Your Brown Black Fist. Book three of the Raise Your Brown Black Fist series, explaining more of the concept of how we can form an actual organization and bring the consortium of Afro Latino communities to life. But unfortunately, that didn't happen. But I'm still trying to write that book. Hopefully, I will be able to publish it. You say in sometime soon. Thank you for tuning in to this latest episode of the Rough Draft. I hope you enjoyed this particular episode. Um, if you'd like to get a copy of any of my books in paperback format, these are the outlets that you need to go to, which is Author House, Outskirts Press, Create Space, Amazon.com, Barnes and Nobles, Books a Million. My books are also available in digital format. So if you want to download my ebooks, these are the outlets and channels that you need to go through, which is Kindle, Nook, Kobo, Apple Books, Everend, Fable, Smashwords, and internationally through Viblio, Toledo, and Gardeners. My ebooks are also available for libraries. So if your library goes through any of these particular channels, then hopefully you'll be able to you can download a copy of my book from your local library, which is Overdrive, Hoopla, Baker and Taylor, Cloud Library, Palace Marketplace, Odillo, and international through BarrowBox to the UK and Australia. If you are watching this episode of the Rough Draft on YouTube, you know what you need to do. Please like the video, definitely leave a comment, definitely subscribe, and please press the notification button. That way you know whenever I say something in the community section or if I'm about to post an upcoming post. So thank you for tuning into this latest episode of the Rough Draft. As I always say, keep the fist raised. I'm always on my literary grind. And hopefully I'll be able to talk to you soon. Hopefully you enjoyed this episode. And I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.